dive into how to start building credibility, how to start building an authority, how to start trusting in yourself that your journey is enough when you are entering into the entrepreneurial world and you still have a day job. Because this is something that I know a lot of you guys reach out to me about, the imposter syndrome, the not feeling like your experience is enough, lack of testimonials, lack of experience of actually working with people, with clients within your industry. And all of this has a ripple effect on how we show up, on our magnetism. Because this is all about the energy. This is all about the energetics that you are going to be emitting into the world, into your spaces, into where you're showing up online and offline. So there's a few bits that I want to dive into. And we're going to start with your ecology. Okay, the world around you. So if you are currently still juggling a day job and you are trying to build your empire on the side. At the moment, it's your side hustle. At the moment, it's the thing that you love doing, but it can't support you financially yet. So you're in that pivot point, right? You're in that juggling situation where you kind of got all the balls in the air and you're just trying to navigate your way through this. And there's an element of a split identity because in one part of your life, you are an employee. You are at someone else's beck and call. You kind of have to do what you have to do in that workplace. But then when you're at home or when you're doing your thing, you're the boss. You're the boss. You're the CEO. You are the leader. You are the vision. You are the visionary. And I think where it can get tricky is if you haven't been an entrepreneur before, if this is your first time round, if you're popping your cherry, then it's how do you switch from this employee mindset to having someone telling you what to do, what you can do, what you can't do. You've got a little title on your badge as to who you are, right? Who you are, what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say. All of this stuff someone is telling you. And yet here you are trying to become an entrepreneur, trying to build your own business, trying to be who they are, right? Trying to be that boss. I don't mean that as in you're copying them. I mean as in you want to be the boss. You want to be the leader. You want to be the author of your story. You want to be in control of your destiny. And so we have to navigate this. We have to have a separation. We have to realize that at the moment, okay, this pays my bills. This is doing what I need it to do. This is allowing me to have the opportunity to build my own business without being in scarcity, okay? Without having like your back up against the wall, feeling like, fuck, if I don't get a client now, I'm going to lose everything. You've got a bit of breathing space. And the stats actually are that entrepreneurs who start this way are the most successful because they start in that energy of desire, but not desperation. They start in the energy of, I can do this, but there's no need. There's no scarcity. There's no lack. There's no like, oh my God, if this doesn't happen, I'm going to be homeless. You know that feeling? So actually, it's a great thing. And 99.9% of entrepreneurs start this way. They just don't talk about it very much because there's a big stigma around, okay, but if I have a day job, then I'm not really an entrepreneur. I'm not really an authority. How can I really help people if I've still got this? If I'm still an employee somewhere else? And this is what I want to get to, okay? Because your journey is enough. Please, if you take one thing away from this podcast, let it be this. Your journey is enough. Full stop, period, end of. It's enough because you've lived it. You have the best experience that money can't buy. You have lived it, and you have grown through it, and you have navigated it yourself to get to the other side, to get to where you are now. That is enough. You do not need a piece of paper to tell you, okay, I'm allowed to talk about that now. You do not need someone else to tell you, okay, I'm going to say that you're ready now. You do not need any more validation. Now, I'm not saying if you want to get a certification, go for it, get one. But do not do it because you need that to validate you to be able to help people. If you want to get certified, or if you want to go through courses, you want to go through self-development, absolutely. I'm all about growing and evolving and elevating, but do not use it as a crutch. Do not use it as a backstop. Do not use it as an excuse to say that you are not ready. If you want to do that, you do it alongside walking the walk. You do it alongside delivering the goods. You do it alongside navigating this. So there's a few things I want to talk about. I might go a little bit here and there because my brain is currently like, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this. But there are a few points that I want to really mention. Okay. So when you are navigating this, it's not going to be perfect in the beginning. Okay. You're going to fuck up. It's a fact. We all fuck up. Okay. We all do it messily. We all do it scruffily. We all do it like just kind of winging it in the beginning, right? We don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. We're like, okay, I'll try this. Let's just give it a go. Because the fact is that clarity comes with movement. Clarity comes as you take action. You can't learn until you try. It's like reading a book on, reading a cookbook, how to make a lasagna, right? You might think you know all of the steps until you actually make that lasagna and you taste it and you're like, fuck yeah, it's the best lasagna I've ever had in my life. You don't know shit. Because the learning is putting it into practice. The knowledge is putting it into practice. Otherwise, it's just collecting information. So you can go through all of the credentials. You can go through all of the courses, all of the certifications, all of the development programs, all of the self-help books, every single thing. But until you start putting it into practice, all you are doing is collecting information. That's it. That's it. And no matter how much information you've collected, you're still never going to feel ready until you start doing it. Because the more you do it, the more confident you feel, the more confident you become, because confidence is connected to competence. And we only gain competence as we take action, as we practice, as we take those shots, as we keep trying, we keep stumbling, we keep fumbling our way through until we finally start to feel like we got this. Okay, I've got it. I think I know kind of what I'm doing. I think I kind of got it figured out. And now I'm going to grow again. And now I'm going to stretch again. Now I'm going to get to the next level, because it's an ever evolving cycle. We're always growing. We're always stretching ourselves. Well, we're not always doing that. A lot of people don't. But if you're listening to this podcast, I hope that's you, because this is for the people who are going to make shit happen. This is for the people who are not okay with just getting by. They're not okay with just settling. They are not okay for just being mediocre. My space is for the big dreamers. My space is for the big thinkers. And my space is for the big doers. Because it's one thing dreaming about it, fantasizing about it, putting it on your vision board, journaling about it. It's another thing taking action to make it happen. And the growth comes in that discomfort. The growth comes in that stretching. The growth comes in that decision that you really don't feel good about. You're really scared. It's really out of your comfort zone. It's really stretching you. Maybe it's all the excuses. I don't have the money. I can't afford it right now. Now's not the right time. I'm not ready. I can't justify that. I don't have the funds. Did I say that? That's my favorite one. I can't afford it right now. It's always my go-to. Can't afford it right now. Can't afford it right now. Do you know what that comes from? That comes from scarcity mindset, of feeling like your current situation is forever. Let that sink in a minute. Saying I can't afford that right now comes from scarcity mindset, of feeling like your current situation is forever. Let that penny drop. Because when someone said this to me and it clicked, and I thought to myself, fuck, like, that is so true. Because we're making a decision based on our situation right now, our financials right now, but we know that the growth is on the other side of that decision. The growth is in that scary action. The growth is in that stretch. It's in that stretch of feeling like, I can't afford it right now, but I'm going to fucking make it happen, because when I make it happen, I am a different person. I've already become a different person. I've already started to build a new neurological circuit in my mind that is taking me to a different person, a different version of me. Because the past me would not have made that decision. They would have stayed there making those excuses. You're already becoming the next version of you. And it's that trust in yourself, that trust in, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to be the person that I need to be in order to live the life that I want to live. So I kind of digressed a little bit from the day job. But the point is that when you have that day job, okay, even if you don't have a day job, but for this podcast, when you have that day job and you are working on building this business, you are going to have to make decisions that you have never made before. You are going to have to take risks that you have never taken before. You are going to have to put yourself in spaces and places that you have never been before. You are going to have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You are going to have to stay so focused on your why, so focused on your North Star, so focused on your purpose, on your vision, that you fight through the, I'm so tired from work. Not today. I can't do it at the moment. I've got so much on. I've got this deadline I've got to meet. I've got this target I've got to hit. I've got these meetings that I've got to be present in. My brain has not got the mental capacity in any way to even think about this. That's bullshit. That is BS. It just means that your why is not big enough. It means that your purpose is not strong enough. You are not yet in alignment with it, because when you are, that magnetic pull will be so strong that you won't care, that you'll be happy to pull the all-nighters. You'll be happy to do the work that you need to do right now in order to get to where you want to get to. I'm not talking about hustle culture. I'm not talking about burning out, working 24/7, hustle, grind, burnout, hustle, grind. I'm talking about being so in alignment with your purpose, with your vision, with your mission, that you are willing to do whatever it takes right now in order to become that person, to live that life, to live that legacy. Because yes, I talk a lot about being in the ease, flow, in the alignment, It doesn't mean it's not work. Of course it's work. Of course there's days where, we work a lot more hours than we do other days. But it is never in the hustle. It's never in the energy of, I need to do more because that's the only way I'm going to make money. That's the only way I'm going to get more clients. That's the only way I'm going to be seen. It's not that. It's the energy of, I'm so fucking excited about this. I cannot actually stop myself from doing it right now. I need to just do this because I'm so lit up. I need to share this with the world right now. That's the difference in the energy. Okay. And that's the difference that you'll notice between your employment energy and your entrepreneurial energy. But do not fall into the trap of bringing that employee mindset into your entrepreneurial endeavors, because that employee mindset is time for money. Okay. It is time for you. It is that exchange. But being an entrepreneur is not about that. It's about making money work for you, attracting money to you, because that's the way that you become successful. That's the way that you bring a legacy into your life. That's the way that you build a brand that is about everything that you stand for. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to touch on. I know I went into a bit of a Claire there. Bit of a whole coaching session / branding session / motivation session. But there are a few things that I want to talk about. Okay, so how do you trust your authority when you are new? How do you trust that you are good enough as you are? You have to start telling yourself that. You have to start convincing yourself of that. You know the phrase, fake it till you make it? This is where it comes into play. It's not about being a fraud. It's about convincing yourself that you are ready, convincing yourself that you are enough. How do you do that? You tell yourself you are. Every single day in the mirror, I am enough. I'm a badass. I'm a boss bitch. I am ready. Tell yourself, eye contact in the mirror every single day. Affirmations everywhere. I am ready. I am worthy. I am wealth. I am whatever it is that you want to be. Have it everywhere. Say it out loud. Speak it into existence, because your words have power. Your words have power. What you say is what you believe. Think about that. What you say is what you believe to be true. What are you saying? Are you saying I'm not good enough? Are you saying I'm not ready? Are you saying, well, I'm just an employee, how can I become this person? Well, that's the whole point. That is the whole point. You become. You don't just wake up and suddenly feel like the shit. You become that person. Day by day by day. By changing what is going on up here, by changing your thoughts, by changing your words, by changing your actions, by changing how you show up, your presence, changing your habits. So this is the next thing I want to get into. Your habits. What do they look like? Are they the habits of the future version of yourself? I don't know. I'm just the guide, right? I'm just here to ask a few questions. You've got the answers. Are your habits the same habits that the future version of yourself has? For instance, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? Is it scrolling on your phone? Before you've even got out of bed, you're checking for validation from people that you don't even know on the internet? Or are you visualizing your day and the amazing opportunities that are going to happen? Are you doing a quick meditation, preparing yourself for the day? Are you maybe saying affirmations in your head? Think about that, because that is the difference between a successful day and a day that is set up for failure, a day that is set up for seeking external validation, a day that is set up for constant doom scrolling. Knowing that you should be doing something else, knowing that you're not going to get to where you want to be by scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, but you do it anyway. This is all part of your paradigm. And the paradigm is what you need to change in order to change your reality. Because your external reality matches your internal reality. Okay, so habits. And then it's building the trust in yourself that you see things through. Okay, that you do what you say you're going to do. Because if you don't believe that you are going to do the work, that you are going to do the things that you need to do in order to get to the place that you want to be, the person that you want to become, then it's going to be hella hard to actually start taking those actions. So this starts with building that trust to yourself. So start making some commitments, start small, right? Make it something that is a little stretch, but you know that you can do, that you will do. So maybe that is making your bed every morning. Tell yourself, my future version of myself makes her bed every morning. And then make it for the next 3 days. And once you've done that, once you hit that target, celebrate the fuck out of it. Because when you celebrate, you are expressing that energy of bringing it into existence, of becoming that person. Energy of gratitude and celebration is so paramount. So start small. Start creating little stretches for yourself that can start to build that trust in yourself. Okay, I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it because I do what I say I'm going to do. I don't back out. I don't procrastinate. I don't sit around thinking about it but not doing it. This is how you start to build that trust in yourself. And this is what is going to help you start to take the actions that you need to take, that you want to take, that you know you have to take to change your life, to stop being an employee and start being the employer, start being the CEO, start being the leader, start being the visionary. But you have to trust that you've got the grip, right? That when the rubber hits the road, you own this shit. You are determined to make it happen. Because you can have all the strategy in the world. You can have all the coaches in the world, all the mentors in the world, all the courses in the world. If you do not desire it enough that there is no other alternative, then it won't happen for you. You have to desire whatever it is for you so much that you are willing to do anything for it, anything to make it happen. I'm not talking about hustle, grind, burnout. I'm not talking about selling your soul. I'm talking about doing the things that are in alignment with your purpose, what you're here to do. But if you do not desire that enough, you're not going to make the hard decisions. You're not going to take the bold actions. You're not going to stretch yourself where that uncomfortable zone is. Uncomfortable zone? But you get what I mean. You're not going to do those things because you don't desire it enough. So make sure that you know what your big why is. Make sure you know what your big purpose is, your big mission, the big movement. What is it? And make hella sure it lights you up. Full body. Like you glow like a light bulb, baby. No one can put that shit out. You're on fire with it. That is when you will start to take those actions. So I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover. We've gone a bit longer than I do normally. Okay, there's one other thing that I want to say. Okay, so stop worrying so much about putting yourself in a box about what do I call myself, right? Someone says, what do I do? How do I know how to answer that? If someone says, well, what experience have you got? How do I know how to answer that? You know, I want to do a podcast, but what would I even talk about? I want to start, you know, building a brand, but I don't even know what it should be or what I need to say in order to make money. Okay. Coming at it the wrong way. All of that is backwards. I want you to reverse engineer this. Okay. So again, what is your why? What is your mission? What is your movement? What is your purpose? That's who you are. That is who you are. You do not need a label. I'm the queen of hating labels. I change mine all the time because I hate it. I hate having a label. I do so many things that you try and give me a label and I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I want to break out of this cage right now because you're not a box. Okay. I mean, I've got a whole nother podcast on niching, but you're not a box. You get to be a circle, and circles can move around. They can go anywhere. They can literally roll around and do whatever the hell they want. There's no edges. There's no corners that you need to navigate. You get to be whoever you want to be. But what I will say is this. Make sure that it's who you really are. Make sure that it is your most authentic self. Because if you show up on a podcast or online or whatever to an event and you are trying to people please, you're trying to simmer it down, you're trying to watch what you say, you're trying to appease everyone else, you're trying to make sure that you don't say anything that's going to offend anyone or people are going to take the wrong way or is going to discredit you, all of this stuff, you are not going to magnetize your tribe. Okay. Business is a mindset game. Business is an energetics game. 80% of your success is about this. 20% is about strategy. So you've got to get this right first. Because when you embrace that, when you say, okay, I'm going to start that podcast, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to talk about, but I'm just going to do it. That's what I did. I didn't know the technicalities of it. I literally had my phone. If you listen to like some of my first podcasts, I was sat in my car on my mobile phone recording because I didn't even think about recording it to YouTube. I didn't even think about doing video. I didn't even think about going live. I just knew that I wanted to start. I wanted to take action and that I would just learn it as I went. And that's what I did. We're always evolving. We're always growing. But you have to start taking action. Start doing it messy. Just start moving. In the words of Nike, just do it. Right? That sentence has so much weight to it. Because it sounds easy, it sounds simple, and the hard truth is, it is. It is as simple as that. Just do it. That is it. That is literally it. There is nothing else I can even add to that. Just do it. Do the things that scare you. Do the things that stretch you. Do the things that will grow you. Because that is where the next version of you is. On the other side of those decisions that you wouldn't have normally taken, that you would have normally made an excuse to. So I think that really has covered everything. And that's kind of one thing in my mind. Like, do I want to talk about that now? Or is that for another episode? But yeah, I'm just going to say very quickly that just because you're growing and you're evolving, it doesn't mean that you can't still help people. Okay. So all of us are always growing. I just want to give you a little example of this. Okay. So if that imposter syndrome is holding you back, that feeling of, well, I'm still learning, so how can I have any authority to help other people? This is really important. Okay. So I am a 6-figure entrepreneur. Okay. I help people like you who want to be 6-figure entrepreneurs, who want to be the thought leader, who want to elevate their voice, their brand, and their presence to be the go-to person in their industry. That's who I help. That doesn't mean that I'm not growing. That doesn't mean that I'm not still stretching myself. So I recently made a big investment out of my comfort zone that I couldn't afford, right? Into a super high level mastermind, which is for 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs. I'm not that yet. But I know that in that stretch, in that discomfort, on the other side of that excuse that I said, right? I was like, oh, I can't really afford it right now. I know that was the past version of me. Because when I made that decision, I was like I said at the beginning, that was based on feeling like your current reality is forever. When I realized that and why I was making that decision, and I put my big girl pants on and I was like, fuck this. If I want to get to where they are, I need to be in that room. I need to make a decision that those people make. I need to take the actions that the 7, 8 figure entrepreneur version of me takes. You move mountains. You make it happen. Because that is where your growth is. That is where the expansion is. There is no possible way that you can't stretch yourself like that and not grow. It's impossible, because even making that decision alone has started to build a new version of you, has started to build new neurological circuits in your brain. You've already started the process of becoming the next version. So I just want you to remember that you can always help a past version of yourself. Always. Because you've already navigated that. That doesn't mean that you're not still growing. And we should all talk about that, right? We should all talk about what we're doing on our own work, in our own self-development, because that tells others that it is okay. It's more than okay. It's important. Because life is about growth. It's about the journey. And you know, the coolest thing of all, I will stop talking in a minute. This episode really lit me up. The coolest thing of all, that you get to experience that, because 90% of the population won't ever experience what it feels like to expand, to grow, to stretch out of their comfort zone, because they will continue to make those excuses. They will continue to stay exactly where they are, wishing for more, wanting for more, yearning for more, but never making the decisions that are going to get them to more. Never taking those scary actions that are going to get them to the other side. Never taking those risks that are going to bring them into that version of themselves that is able to live that life. So the fact that we even get to experience that is actually something that you should be really proud of. Because you're here, you're listening to this, that means that you are willing to do it scared, that you're willing to get uncomfortable, that you're willing to grow, that you're willing to take action, and that you're willing to try, fuck up, and try again. Because there's no such thing as failure. The only failure is to not try at all. And even then, you're only failing yourself, because it just means that you'll never know your fullest potential. You'll never know what could have been. You'll never get to experience that version of you that was on the other side of that expansion. And that's where the magic is. That's where the magic of life is. In finding the next version of you over and over and over again as you continue to grow and evolve and elevate over and over again. This is what life is about. It's about becoming that person, because as you become that person, your reality around you will match that. It will change with you, because it's the law of physics. It has to. What you give, you get back. Oh, like a release there. Like this was I really loved this episode. So we covered a lot. And I really hope that you re-listen to this, share this with your audience, show them that you're not just talking the talk, that you're walking the walk, that you're doing things to grow yourself, that you're doing things to stretch yourself, that you're surrounding yourself with the people that you need to in order to get to the next version of you. So with all of that said, it is the 19th of December. I am launching a brand new mastermind with my good friend Jane in January 2024. Don't know when you're listening to this, so it might have already gone. This is going to be the space that pushes you, that stretches you, that elevates you. Okay. So like I said, I've just gone into a super high level mastermind out of my comfort zone that I couldn't afford, in air quotes. But I did it anyway because I realized that I was making excuses to stay exactly where I was. I was making excuses based on the fact that my current reality was going to stay forever. I was making excuses because it scared the fuck out of me. Investing that much money, what if it doesn't work? What if I don't get it back? What if there's no ROI? Did it anyway, because I know that the next version of me that I need to become, that I want to become, that is waiting for me to arrive, is on the other side of that big ass scary decision. Okay, so are you going to make that decision? Are you going to stretch yourself? Are you going to say, fuck the excuses, I'm not ready, I can't afford it, whatever, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do it anyway because I know the next version of me is on the other side of that decision. That's what it comes down to. Do it or don't. But don't use the excuses. Do it because you're not ready, you're scared, but you're saying yes anyway. Don't do it because you're good where you are. That is the reality of it, okay? Everything else is just fluff. Everything else that we say is just fluff. The reality of it is we don't do something because we want to stay exactly where we are. Or we do it because we know that it's uncomfortable as fuck, that it's scary, that yes, there's always risk, but the risk of not growing is one that we're not willing to take. And that is what I have to say on that. So if you want to get on the wait list, there's an early bird offer. If you hurry up, you actually get a free 60-minute onboarding call with myself or Jane, where we can really discuss like intricate details of your business, your plans, what you've got going on, and make sure that you get the most out of the mastermind. So we really understand where you're at, give you a bit of coaching, and really get some strategies in place that are going to set you up for success. So that early bird offer is on until, I believe, beginning of January. I need to check. But anyway, drop me in the DMs if you feel like you know this is your next level of growth, like you're done with staying where you are done with feeling stuck, you are done with making excuses, then let's do this. Let's do this together. It's much easier in a room of other people on the same journey as you. It's much easier when you have a tribe around you. It's much easier when you have a support network around you, a community around you to collaborate, to lift each other up, camaraderie, all of that. So I will put links below. Hit me up in the DMs if you want to reach out. We can talk it through. It's $444 a month. It's a mini mastermind for 12 weeks. It's going to be lit as fuck. My current mastermind is at capacity. The stuff going on in there is mega, like people launching new products into the market, disrupting markets, creating absolutely amazing, like game-changing businesses, movements. Oh, it's just incredible. So this is the vibe that we're going to be bringing. So you know where I am. If you're ready to put your big girl pants on, if you're ready to meet the next version of you, let's do this shit together. And until next time, remember, your journey is enough. You are enough. And now you need to start taking action and showing up as that next version of you. Okay, much love until next time.